Welcome back everyone, you're watching All the Beer and Idea and thanks for joining us for another video. This time it's a comparison video. You probably could call it a review as well, but it's ultimately it's a comparison video. Now about a week and a half ago, I think, something like that, I don't know, I haven't looked, I reviewed Brewdog, their Elvis juice on the Perfect Draft Pro, and I said at the time that I'm going to get a can of their Elvis juice and do a comparison between the two. Now, I picked one of them up today, but in between me saying that and picking one up today, I actually managed to pick up Aldi's version of Elvis juice. As you all know, they released the anti-establishment IPA, which is basically a Brewdog punk IPA rip-off, if you like. So we're doing a comparison video today of 3 beers, and they all come in at 6.5%, so this should be fun, shouldn't it? Yeah. Punk IPA on the Perfect Draft Pro. I got all the discounts and everything, so it was about £11–12 off the keg that I got. So that takes it down to about £30 a keg. Now, the Elvis juice that I got in a can is a 440ml can that was £2.50, and the Aldi's version, which is this one, actually come in at £1.19 for a 440ml can. So I mean, certainly the Brewdog keg is never going to beat that on price. I'm trying to think how to work this out. What are you getting? If we're going to do it in 440ml cans, let's work it out. About 30 quid, give or take 50p, I think it was. 4.4 litres is 10 cans, and then you've got 1.6. So you're talking about 14 of these cans to a keg. 14 of them, so it's working out at about £2.10. Just touch a screen because it's going off. It's working out about £2.10 to the equivalent of 440ml can. Well, this actually cost me £2.50. Obviously, don't get me wrong, that's taking into account your discounts and your keg return. So the draft one is still coming in cheaper than the 440ml can from Morrison's, but it is about 90p more. I'm going to guess at about 90p more than Aldi's Memphis Blvd grapefruit infused IPA. So there we go. The keg looks exactly the same as that, and that Aldi's one looks exactly the same as that. It's quite obvious what they're doing. Every one of these beers is 6.5%. The Aldi's one is, the Brewdog in a can is, and the keg is 6.5%. So what I'm going to do in a second, any second now, I'm going to go over to the Perfect Draft and I'm going to pour. I've got identical glasses as well, so hopefully I'm trying to keep this as even as I can. The keg is set at 3 degrees. This has been in the fridge for quite a few days now, so what did I say that was set at? 6 degrees? No, 5 degrees. 5 degrees Perfect Draft is set at. This has been in the fridge at 3 degrees. Is it going to reach sort of 5 by the time I start? I don't know. And the Elvis juice has only been in a couple of hours, so I'm guessing that's going to be more 6 or 7 degrees, if I'm totally honest. So we've done all the waffling. Like I said, you've had all the prices. You know what the cans look like and the keg looks like because I've just told you. The size of the cans, I've done the price kind of comparison. So I'm going to shoot over there. I won't do a video of the pour. I'll just pause the video. We'll pour the draft one first and then we'll get on with the can. So back in a tick. Well, I'm back, and thankfully the machine has just stopped doing its noise. It started as soon as I poured it. There's the beer from the Perfect Draft Pro. Like I say, set at 5 degrees. Golden sort of amber colour. Nice carbonation going up. We got a good 2.5 finger of compact white head. So let's crack on with the others. We're going to open up Brewdog's Elvis juice out the can now and see what we get from that. It's quite lively, as you can see. A little bit of head has shot up. We'll see if we get. I've poured the Pro one because you tend to get a bigger head with that because it's draft, so it will stand. I'm thinking it's going to stand the time a little bit better for. Whoa, that bloody dog. Hang on, pause that. Sorry, cat's disturbing me. Right. That is the Brewdog can one. to me looks a lot more carbonation in that, although the header's poured very, very similar, and they both kind of look similar. A bit more chill haze on the PD Pro one. So I don't know what sort of light is going on in here. I might actually pause the video again. Bloody hell, you get more adverts on my videos now and breaks than you do on the bloody TV. Right, let's put that there. Right. Poor old Perfect Draft one is getting left to get on with it. And this one is the Aldi's Memphis Blvd Grapefruit Infused IPA. So let's get that out into a glass and see what we get. That certainly hasn't shot its bolt everywhere. Big difference straight away, I can see. And I know the screen's going to go off any second now. Bastard thing. Let's touch it again. Right. Absolute massive difference, I think, between all three. There we go, Perfect Draft one. A bit hazy, golden sort of amber colour, hazy. Carbonation is gentle going up. Head has died down now, but it still looks quite a creamy head. The Brewdog one doesn't have the haziness of the PD one, as you can see. I mean, you can see my face pretty much clear as day. A lot more carbonation going up, and that head has died down a bit, but it hasn't got that. It's quite spacious. It hasn't got the creaminess of that head, in all honesty. And last but not least, we have Aldi's Memphis Blvd. Now look at the colour of that. Very different colours there, I would say. A lot lighter, this one, and then compare it to the Perfect Draft Pro one. Not looking so carbonated as... Carbonation is a little bit more maybe than the PD one, but it's not looking so carbonated as the normal Brewdog one. It's got a compact white head that didn't pour as fluffy maybe as the other ones, and it's down to about a finger ahead now. So tell you what I'm going to do. We'll dive in on the nose. So PD Pro one, let's see what we get on the nose from the PD Pro one. And that's been sitting there for a while. Malty, a sweet maltiness. You are getting grapefruit in there. I know on my original review I said it was very subdued. It is still quite subdued, but the more I get down the keg, the more that grapefruit is coming forward. So sweet maltiness, grapefruit, no real hoppiness for me. Brewdog Elvis juice in a can or out of a can. Seems less malty, doesn't have that sweetness, but it's maybe a little bit more punchy on the grapefruit aroma. Again, no real hops for me in there. It's not a hoppy grapefruit sort of thing. So let's go in with Aldi's Memphis Blvd Grapefruit Infused IPA. Fucking hell. A tad of maltiness, a tad. You are getting a bit of grapefruit, but I mean, there is a world of difference between all three beers, in all fairness. Certainly on the aroma, there's a world of difference in looks. For me, on looks, the PD Pro one wins it. It's definitely got more haziness about it. Less carbonated as well than that one. And that is still, I mean, I say it was less carbon. Yeah, there probably is less carbonation, but look at that. I mean, it looks almost lager-like, doesn't it? So let's go in with the taste. We are going to go in straight away with the PD Pro one. See what we get. Or do I go the other way? I don't know. Let's go in with the PD Pro one, set at 5 degrees. Said in the review, decent body, I thought. Malty, slightly sweet. There is grapefruit there. It's gradually getting a bit more and more. The more you drink it, the more grapefruit comes to the forefront. Did get a little bit of breadiness from it as well. from that first mouthful. Yeah, nice enough. So let's dive in with Brewdog's Elvis juice out of a can. It's probably actually about 7 degrees if I'm brutally honest, so let's give it a go. For me, the body isn't as good. And although it still feels like it has a good body, I think sometimes the temp you serve these beers at does make a difference to the body. I think when it's colder, the body feels lighter. When it's a bit warmer, it feels a little bit heavier, I think. Now, it's quite a decent body, like I say. Or not bad. But nowhere near as good as the PD one. You do get the maltiness in there, but it doesn't feel so rounded. The maltiness in this doesn't feel so rounded, and I think that's why it feels a little bit lighter. I'm not sure if you get the sweetness of the that one. Grapefruit is there, although it smells a bit more grapefruity. I don't really think. Yeah, saying that, I was going to say I think what you get from this Elvis juice in the can, the grapefruit is more prominent from the start, but probably doesn't really sort of get any more fuller in flavour, whereas the PD one does. Oh, excuse me, Christ, this is going to be fun, this one. Right, we're going to go in with Aldi's Memphis Blvd one now. I'm going to give it a top up as well. I'm going to give the old a bit of a top up. Giving that head start, aren't I? Oh boy. Right. Memphis Blvd from Aldi, 6.5%. Very light. Very light. Not a patch on the can from Brewdog. It's almost got the lightness of a lager. IPA. IPA is supposed to be heavily hopped, aren't they? It's got more of a body of a lager. You do get the grapefruit in there. Quite bitter. A light maltiness. Taste-wise for me, I'm still going to go with the Perfect Draft Pro one. And now I know a lot of people say, oh, you're only doing it because it's perfect. No, I'm not. But that's not to say if there were little bits from other beers in the PD one, it wouldn't improve it. Let's go in again with the PD Pro one. Like I say, all right, yeah, the head's died down. I haven't topped it up. But look at that. That's created a beautiful head, and it looks a lovely creamy head. Look at that. Looks lovely. Looks lovely. So let's go in again. Yeah. For me, and I know some people are going to complain about this maybe. I know JB has commented on Guinness, saying in the can, when you have like that super smooth one, it loses its character. And to a certain extent, the PD Pro one does of this. It's a lot more rounded. It's a lot smoother. The grapefruit isn't so harsh. The bitterness isn't so harsh. But that is quite nice, actually. Yeah, the can one that is a bit warmer. That bit warmer isn't as nice. I think having it that little bit cooler is better. But I can't blame the can for that, can I? That's just because I've done it. But body's not as light. You do feel that grapefruit in this one a little bit more. but it's certainly got less maltiness and sweetness. And I would say for me, sort of like the 6.5%, the alcohol thing is all the same on these two. You don't kind of get any more feel of it. You might get it more in this one because the Perfect Draft Pro one is a little bit sweeter. But for me, pardon me again, the Pro at the moment is certainly beating the can. And we'll do a little bit of a comparison. Oh, I bet you lot are laughing, really. I bet you're not sitting there going, that's disgusting. I bet you're going, look at this poor sod. He's filling himself up with gas. We'll do this one again now. Yeah. Thin, watery, more bitter, maybe more grapefruit than the others, less malty, but that bitterness is becoming a little bit harsh. So, I mean, I know my answers already now on these beers. And some of you are probably going to know what I would go for out of the three. So, in third place for me is the Aldi's one. Their Memphis Blvd Grapefruit Infused IPA. It's lighter, it's a little bit more harsh, it's not so smooth, it's not so rounded. But, what I will say, it's a copy beer, isn't it? It's £1.19 for 3/4 of a pint, pretty much 6.5%. So, despite not being the best out of these three beers sitting here, I still think at £1.19 for a big can, 440ml can, you're not being ripped off. You are getting what you pay for. It's not the worst beer going, but it certainly doesn't live with the Elvis juice in a can or the Perfect Draft Pro one. So there's my third place in this comparison. Excuse me, got itchy nose. Second for me, I'm going to have to go with the Brewdog Elvis juice can. Why, are you asking? Body's quite nice. But for me, and the grapefruit's nice as well. I like that little bit of extra punchy grapefruit in it. But what I do miss is that little bit of lightness on the PD Pro one that you get. You get that extra body on the PD Pro one, in my opinion. So I miss that in this. I also miss that fuller maltiness in the beer, that fuller round malty feel about it. And that for me is probably why you get a bit more grapefruit sort of flavour in this, because it doesn't have that fuller flavour of everything in there. It's just whacks you in the face really with grapefruit. So yeah, second for me is Brewdog Elvis juice in a can. Now this was coming in at £2.50 I paid for this from Morrison's. So that is actually the third most expensive one if you look at it as I... Third one? It's the most expensive one. It's not the third most expensive one. Well, it is. It's the most expensive one, but that has come in second. So for me, the winner of this comparison is the Perfect Draft one. Yes, the grapefruit is a little bit muted. Pardon me. Compared to the Brewdog in a can, and even maybe this one. It has a bitterness in there that isn't as harsh as the Boulevard one. The grapefruit isn't as much as the Brewdog can, but what it does have, it has a bit more sort of maltiness in there. It has a nice sweetness. And that sweetness for me just tones down the grapefruit, so it's probably got as much sort of fake grapefruit in there, if you like. But that maltiness in the beer carries it further. None of them sort of feel over alcoholic. I think this drinks really well for 6.5. The can does as well, of the Brewdog one. that one, harsh bitterness would make it feel a little bit more. And like I say, £41.90 on the Perfect Draft Pro this is. Take into account your £5 keg deposit. That brings it down to £36.90. And then I think I got about 15% off when I ordered it. Things are changing. I know things are changing. So at the time of me purchasing this has worked out better value. It may work out different if you look at everything else. But at the time of purchasing this, I was getting £4.20. I was getting £6.30 off a keg. So £11.30, like I say, about £30.50 ish for 14 cans, the equivalent of 14 cans. So I think, what did I work that out as? About £2.10, £2.20. So it is actually coming in second cheapest. It's coming in cheaper than this, and it is actually a better drink in my opinion. So this comparison, third Memphis Blvd IPA from Aldi. If you haven't got much money, give it a go, give it a try, because it's worth it for the money. Brewdog Elvis juice in a can, I paid £2.50 for. Is it worth it? I suppose it's the going rate for that sort of can. But the winner for me is from the Perfect Draft Pro. And if you get all your discounts and you make the most of it, it's at least going to come in the same price as that, if not better. So yeah, that's my views on this comparison. Aldi last, can second, PD Pro first. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Yes, I waffled on fucking way too long. I do apologise. Like I say, hope you've enjoyed it. If you've tried all of these yourself, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to shut up now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.